Hey, this is Ben. This is the 26th Art of Peace. Doing a little something different. I'm going to be guiding you through weight training at specific pieces of equipment. So I'll be cutting in and out. So I'm on the elliptical. And so I just begin, right? And you bring your mind into presence by using the machine itself. Whatever qualities the machine creates for you, you use that piece to tame your mind. So this machine has got lights flashing across it, it's got number pads, it's got different colored buttons, all that kind of stuff. So I can use that as my sense of sight. Then the actual surrounding, the cage of the machine, you can see where you can put your hands, you can grab hold. You might notice the temperature differences between those little hand placement things that monitor your heart rate and things like that, and the plastic of the machine. And then once I've tamed my mind with the machine, like connected to my direct surroundings, then go into alignment. So my feet. So right now I'm moving on the elliptical. I haven't done anything else, but I'm moving on it. So I just feel my feet moving. I feel the way my ankles are bending. I feel the pressure at my heels. When the pressure leaves, when the pressure increases. So I'm just interacting with what is. Introception. Now from here, pelvis. So the second I came into my pelvis, I recognized that I was clenching it. It's such a subtle thing, and because our bodies are so incredible, they can do things even though they're not in the most efficient alignment. What's amazing about that is it does it automatically, but what's amazing further is that you can connect to that, soften it, and have a brand new perspective of areas of your body that you just never can imagine. You never would have noticed it before. So it's a real gift. Anyway, pelvis. Lots of change going on in my pelvis. It feels like my pelvis has more to it. It's the best way to describe it. It's like being very, it's like an idea of it being very clearly made that, oh wow, there's far more than meets the eye. So I'm in a sense of kind of awe, like whoa. That of course influences the core. So with a softer pelvis, I'm able to kind of spiral, almost swing my core more easily. So I was watching a horse move the other day. This is this big quarter horse, massive. I mean, this thing must be 14 hands. Huge monster of a beast. But as he walked, his whole body moved, especially his head. So it's just this movement everywhere. And that's what it feels like when I can whip my core. It's like I can whip around it. Anyway, from there, going to hard space, I'm looking for loose shoulder blades. I'm always coming to my shoulder blades. Talked about this yesterday at National Veterans Center. Wearing body armor. Driving in a Humvee. It has a similar consequence to driving in a car, always being in the computer. It's kind of hunched. One is you're hunched under the weight of the armor. The other is you're hunched under the weight of your responsibilities. Technology. Anyway, always shoulder blades. Throat. This cross trainer has been well maintained, so it's running smoothly. Now my left ankle is creating a lot of sensation. So I'm pull back a little bit and keep generating effort, but without causing too much pain in that ankle. So I just move my points around, interacting with the sensation. Where is it the most? Where is it the least? Find where it's the least, settle into there. Now I'll continue the path up, top of the head. Top of the head. Trying to feel if it's moving. Now my mind just flashed an idea for how I should proceed through this stanza. So I just acknowledged that, but I came back to the sensation of moving. One thing to keep in mind, the notion of a still mind is not something that you'll notice. It's not, oh, my mind is still. It's you are immersed in the moment. You are immersed in the moment. So, before being immersed in the moment, you're still in time, you're still in ego, you're still in kind of change. The experience is not one of awareness, the experience is one of being. Other than that, the experience is one of awareness. So, my mind flashes out, I'm aware that it flashes out, I come back. I'm choosing, I'm putting my awareness where it makes sense, and in the context of what I'm doing right here, I'm putting my awareness, I'm feeding my awareness in the direction of making sense to myself, to you, trying to share the experience. So anyway, mind bounces in and out, just choose to come back. So I'm finishing up with the breath. And all that was just kind of perceiving the environment, perceiving how my body's working, how my alignment is, how my awareness is. Everything put together, good to go. So, that is a beginning for me. That's how much emphasis I put on the internal environment. And I'm not doing it to be like lovingly kind or whatever. Nor am I doing it to, burn calories, whatever. The point is efficiency. I'm looking for the smoothest motion of effort through the body. Now, once I've achieved that, it's when I start setting intentions. So what's nice about an intention is it takes place. It takes the place of, or impedes the power of, deep-seated beliefs, underlying beliefs. So if you set an intention of my plan is to do this for 20 minutes, you have a better chance of moving through the experience of 20 minutes with your greater efficiency than you do if you proceed for 20 minutes and the whole time being like, is this over yet? I need something to eat. I'm bored. What's on TV? They never put the right channel on. Yeah, Donald Trump again? Look at that hair. Man, oh wow, that person's good looking. Da, da, da. Anyway, so that's the point. Set an intention. And then begin. So, training begins at your fullest immersion. So you're inside of a training environment, you're trying to become present. Fully present, immersed. So no longer the awareness of you are being. You are out of idea. You are into being. You are out of awareness of you are. You are. Full immersion. Now, there's lots of different ways to be fully immersed. So check this out. This is the 26th stanza of The Art of Peace. All right. The Art of Peace is based on 4 great virtues: bravery, wisdom, love, and friendship, symbolized by fire, heaven, earth, and water. All right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to set an intention on representing these experiences. I'm going to train I'm also going to train like fire, like heaven, like earth, and like water. And I'm going to do it all inside my training on the elliptical. So, bravery. What do brave environments feel like? I'll tell you what brave environments feel like for me. Brave environments feel like for me, high heartbeat, fast, intense, quickened. It's the way fire is at its fullest. Not an explosion of, but just fire itself. You know, a roaring fire eats. A roaring fire just eats. So, how do I make fire on the elliptical? Well, I'm going to pick up my pace at my feet, at my pelvis, at my heart, at my throat, at the top of my head. Now, I'm thinking of whipping around the middle. I'm not trying to create fire by just working as hard as I can. I'm putting my body at a higher elevation. The thing says I'm at a heart rate of 160. So trying to hold this conversation, hold steady tone in my face, hold steady language in my voice, requires that I can't be tense. Now, the cost of my breath is going to be preventative over time. Ultimately, this is unsustainable, but I can interact with it. I call this the edge. Now, as it gets harder in the context of more things to account for, more pull on the breath, temperature change, heart rate change. Now, my heart rate at 170 right now is totally acceptable to me. Totally acceptable. Makes perfect sense that my heart's beating so fast. All right, now come to stillness. So if I come to stillness and my heart rate's beating this fast, I know from what I've just done that this is totally cool. Makes perfect sense. I have all the confidence in the world that my heart rate will settle as it's doing right now. I can complement that act by breathing long and smooth, long inhales. In the world of heart math, they call it going green. So you go green by lengthening your breath, lengthening and slowing your breath. And they've got some really cool programs where they're putting warriors at the sharp edge and right afterwards having them go green. And then monitoring how they respond to the obstacle. It's really cool. It's so cool how we can interact with the superpowers of the body. All right, now my heart rate's back down to more manageable. Now, check this out. Fear, darkness, rage, lust, desire, shame. A lot of these experiences have high heart rate, high breath rate, high change in the body associated with them. As a result, an individual can be in an environment where, boom, all of a sudden they're at a high rate of speed. Lots going on. For some people, it's pressure. For other people, it's like a lack of connection. It's just crazy. Anyway, the tough part is, can you be brave enough to recognize that just as the sensation? You recognize the idea, you recognize your story, but can you watch it as just a sensation? It's tough. You got to be brave. You got to be brave to be at the edge and not think it's never going to end. You got to have faith. You got to be brave that this too shall pass. All things are temporal, but inside really, really, really edgy environments, it seems like they could last forever. So you got to be brave. Now, being brave doesn't mean foolish. So like I said earlier, my left ankle is calling out symbols of discomfort. So it's never the same symbol twice. It's little flashes of sensation here and there being called out, showing up in my space, showing up in my awareness. Now, the military taught me that I can overcome that. And my body's got a superpower that enables me to overcome uncomfortable sensations in the body. So if I want to, I can lean forward and really start to move. And this time I'm moving by pushing through my thighs, pushing through my thigh muscles. Now as I'm doing that, I feel how the frustrations of the ankle start to get louder. I immediately pull back. I got no need to press that edge. Now when my body asks for something, I'm almost immediately inclined. And not because I'm a heathen, but because I think my body's smart. Like I think my body's trying to clue me in on how to become even more superpowered. I think my body's like, there's this comic that I loved as a kid called Spawn, and it was this devil spawn from hell had made it to Earth, but he had a good heart, and so he was essentially fighting the conflict inside himself and trying to do good things. But anyway, he had powers and his cape had powers. And so his whole experience was one of interacting with the powers of his body, the powers of his cape, their interconnection, the intelligence, the way they can operate independent of the host. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with my body now. Like I have fully acknowledged the wisdom. And as that has begun to take more and more shape in my being, my experience with others is becoming less challenged. It's very efficient. It's an efficient movement. And it's not in any way, shape, or form weak. It's growing exponentially in speed of connectivity, in grandness of purpose, and it's growing just kind of the way water collects at the bottom of a hill. And it collects comfortably until it's gained enough, and then it just flows over. It becomes powerful easily. But it becomes powerful, it becomes powerful either quickly or slowly, but no matter what, it's always becoming, always. There's an intelligence to it. It's really remarkable. Anyway, that's hard to explain. What I'm describing is why you practice. And then here's the deal. Resting in being itself is heaven. It's total presence. It's immersion. It's not awareness of. It is immersion with. And part of why you go through fire, earth, water, is to see just the majesty of it all. And so when you think about a mountain, you think about how solid it is. It too is always changing, but what's happening is change is happening around it at a higher rate than to it. It, of course, is changing, but the world around it is evolving because of it, through it, with its security, with its stillness, on top of it, under it. And so much is able to evolve around mountains that a mountain is worshipped. It's worshipped for its stillness. We can embody that element of Mother Nature by bringing ourselves into a similar stillness. That's the drop. Done all this work, whether it's yoga or whether it's Pilates, working out on a treadmill, exercising in the gym, done all this work with the body. You settled it down. The body influences the mind influences the body. The two things that help show you what it is to be human are soft and quiet. So now you can be. And inside that beingness is just awareness. There's no judgment. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. Beingness. By itself. It's one thing. But juxtaposed to a corporal existence, it's completely and totally invigorating, inspiring, recharging, sacred, the source of our power. So what's nice at the end of any armored down workout, in any yoga, the end of most practices, end with some form of gratitude or relaxation or softening, mental, physical, and spiritual. So in the gym we do that with the drop. So you eventually come to a point where you prepare to stop, create stillness. Want stillness, you go back to the body, feet, pelvis, core, heart, throat, top of the head. Full breath in. And then as you exhale, you just soften. Soften at the feet, pelvis, core, heart, throat, top of the head. And then take that full breath. Consciously in the practice. So, that's the 26th stanza of The Art of Peace. Let's read that again. The art of peace is based on 4 great virtues: bravery, wisdom, love, and friendship, symbolized by fire, heaven, earth, and water. King, out.